Hey everyone, in this weekly update, I'm going to talk about the meet that I had yesterday and my future plans and with that. So, without wasting any more time, my meet yesterday went very, very well. I hit all of my goal numbers, but I only PR'd in one specific lift. And if you consider my body weight and the fact that it was my first meet, those were all PRs as well. When I weighed in, I think they said 81.4 kilograms. So I was like 179 and a half ish pounds. I was under 180. So that's the lowest I've weighed since I was a freshman in college. And I think that was even lighter than when I started. I think I was in the low 180s when I started college. So I was way down there, but I made weight under the 181. I was all good to go with that. My first lifts obviously were the squats. I started out, it was end up being like 402 something, and the first attempt I failed. I think it was because of depth, but I didn't even ask the judges why because I got to the bottom and I panicked and I came back up and it was like it felt bad. It didn't look too bad on the video surprisingly, but it just felt really bad and I was just like, oh, that was just horrible, and no wonder I failed. But then the next attempt I did the same 402 and I made it, and then my third attempt at 413 point something, I was successful in that as well. And I I didn't mess around with the depth on them. I went way below and came up and got three white lights for both of those second and third attempts with those. So squats, I got the goal. My goal was 415. In order to get, I needed like an 1184 total, a 1215 total, and a 1275 total. So the 1184 total, I was like for sure. I just needed to hit my first three attempts in my lifts, and I was good to go. The 1215, I had to do a little bit more, and then the 1275 was the question mark. Moved on the bench. The 265 went well, my opener, and then I went on the 275. That also went well, and then I went to 286. All these are like decimals too, so I'll post the exact numbers that I did, but they're all in kilograms. So when they convert over, they aren't exact. But then I did 286 point something, and then I failed that. Um, I really want to do a lot more to work on my bench. I'm gonna mix in a couple different things. The big thing for me is I was able to get it off my chest, and it was just my that like little bit off where you would do mostly like I call them like rack pushes, but like where you start kind of off and then you go. So something like that to do quite a bit of that to work on my bench pressing. I think that will help me tremendously to be able to get past that point and to work on the sticking point. But I can talk about more of that later. Deadlifts went really, really well. I was very happy with the bar they used. I think it was an Ohio deadlift bar. I'm not positive because I have no knowledge of the different kind of bars. It just kind of looked like one from the ones I've seen from videos. But my opener was about 540, and that flew up and it went wonderful. And what was cool with the first two lifts that I did, I was like kind of in the middle of my flight, my group of people that I was with. And my last one, I was the last person to go. So it was kind of neat to be like the strongest person in my group for deadlifts. Obviously, there was people in other groups that did more than me, but it was kind of neat to see to be able to go last in my group. So my first attempt was 540, and that put me well over the 1215 mark I needed and the 1184 mark I needed it. I had to, I think to get the 1215, I calculated I needed like a 527 deadlift on that, so I 540 put me way over. In order for me to get the 1275 total, my second attempt had to be at least 587 pounds, and luckily there was a attempt in kilograms that put my second attempt at 589 pounds, which is a 4 pound PR from my previous deadlift, and I was able to fly up with that, and it was wonderful. I had a little bit of sticking point, but the speed on that went so much better than the last time I did 585 in my mock meet. And I was really happy with that, and I think a big credit goes to the bar that I was using because my grip felt so wonderful. It kind of tore my thumb a little bit, but the knurling was so perfect that I knew I would no chance of dropping this weight. And I was just pumped up and I was ready to go. When I got the deadlifts, I was just pumped up. I had a Coca-Cola and a coffee, and I waited like an hour to do it, but then I still had caffeine in my body and it was flying through the lifts. Deadlifts actually went really fast with the attempts. I was really glad with that because I was able to get the full effect of all the caffeine that I had had prior during the lift. My last attempt on deadlift, I failed, but it was 611 point something, and that would have been an Ohio State record. The first two deadlifts that I did were records for the state for juniors, but the last one would have been a record for the open, so it was more. But I got it up past my knees, and then I was like so rounded, and I saw like the judges being really strict with other guys, and I thought about trying to but go crazy and try to grind it out like I have done at other points in the gym, but it wouldn't have been any point. I would have put myself at more of a risk of injury, and I wouldn't have got the lift. They just wouldn't have gave it to me because reasons. Well, rules stuff. I'm not saying that they're just being mean, but like there was no point for me to put myself at risk for that just for an ego lift at that point. Because I know now, based on how well 589 felt and the fact that I was able to get 611 past my knees and get to the point where I could start attempting to grind it out. I think I'm well over, or I'm not well over, but able to do a 600-pound deadlift. Maybe not easily, but I think I'm able to do it. And I kind of wish the Ohio record was closer to 600, so I would have been able to try it. But I was fine failing at 611 because I wanted to go for the state record, and I had already made the 589 total, so I was already good on that mark. So I'd hit all the numbers that I needed to do. The 611 would have just been icing on the cake. But after the meet, I got a first place and second place, and they did the awards really weird to where they just said, Jimmy got first and second place. They didn't say for what weight class or for what class or anything. They did that for everyone, and it was really kind of weird with that. But I am assuming that the first place was for junior 181, and then the second place was for Matt, not for the open 181. I'm guessing that because of the two classes I was in. But if they're different than that, I'll leave the correction in the description once they put all that stuff online. But I'm assuming it's that because there's no way that I would have won the open and came second place in the junior. That wouldn't make any sense to me. But that really covered the meet, and I was really happy with it. It took all day long. We got there about 6 a.m. and we were there till about 8 o'clock at night. So it was a all-day event, and yeah, but it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Seth did really well as well. He hit all his attempts as well. We both qualified for the meet that's in July. I qualified for the meet that's in November. I don't think he quite did, but I don't know if the meet in July can qualify you for the one in November. We'll have to figure that out later, but we both can go to Las Vegas in July if we want to do the meet that's there. I think we can both do it as juniors and both in the open, although the open we won't compete at all compared to the other people, but the junior we would maybe, but probably not still because there are a lot of strong people. And yeah, that's really about it with the meet. If any of you have any questions about the meet specifically and things that happened at it or about anything that I did, please let me know about that. I'll be posting the videos throughout this week. Seth and his family was there and they were taking the videos, and they'll be getting me the videos, and as I get them to me and edited, I'll be throwing them up on the channel, so be looking for those. I'm sorry I don't have them now, but I wanted to make kind of a weekly update video as I try to do on Sundays routinely now, hopefully. But like I said, I'll have the videos as this week moves on, and it may be later than other training footage I have because I'm going to start training today. And speaking of the training that I'm starting today, I am going to be doing a Shaco inspired programming. I'm not going to, I went to the Shaco and I got the program and there's like 3 lifts. I'm not just going to be doing the 3 lifts well, there's like 5. And I'm not just going to be doing the 5 because that's not enough for me. I need more volume than that. So I'm also going to be doing, of course, that my watch would ding. Every day at 7 a.m. my watch dings because I had it set at camp for 2 years ago in the summer, and I never changed it because at camp we didn't have alarms, so I needed to use my watch, and my phone wasn't trustworthy at that point. But anywho, I lost my train of thought. I'm using a Shaco inspired method, so I'll have 3 days a week that are kind of Shaco inspired on my main lifts, and then I still do accessory work and all that stuff. And then on my opposite days, the extra days that I have, because I'll probably do 4 main days of lifting. So I'll have to do a Shaco inspired day on my own because I still like the 4 day split. But on the 2 extra days that I lift, I'll be doing a lot more of Olympic lifts and really different accessories like snatch, deadlifts, and I'm trying to think of other ones. Perhaps like a hack squat that's like a literal hack squat that's behind me with a barbell, and maybe like weird things like a Jefferson deadlift. I'm going to be experimenting on some of those days, especially this week when I'm going to be not trying to kill myself too much and going a little bit lighter. Well, it's not so much that I'm going to be going a bit lighter. I'm not going to be trying to like grind out weights crazily. I'm just going to try to hit all my reps and stop there because I just want kind of a lighter week because I've been going pretty hard lately. But thankfully, I'm going to be able to eat lots of food now. I think this morning I was like 181 or 182, and I want to go back up to like 188-ish and then stay there until, probably mid-June or whatever, and then start cutting back down to there if I decide that I want to go to Las Vegas to do that meet. Hopefully I'm able to go there because that would be a really fun, just I guess vacation to do, but also a fun event to do again, to hang out there and lift weights with people and be around that atmosphere because it was really fun. But yeah, that's that's about all I have to talk about today. Sorry, I'm rather tired. I just woke up and I have yet to have any coffee. So and I'm still recovering from yesterday as well because that was a long day. I got up at 4 a.m. To make sure that I was underweight, and then uh, left at like 5 and been up till like 11. So it was quite an epic day, but it was a fun day, and I hope to do it again. Not soon, but in July, hopefully, and then again in November. Definitely something that I don't understand how people do meets all the time because, man, is it time consuming, but it is definitely fun to do every once in a while. So, if you have any thoughts or comments about the meet or my future programming or any of that sort of stuff, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.